Okay, so the first step in creating a frequency distribution table is you have to look at your raw data, which was currently on the screen. And the very next step is drawing it, of course. Okay, I'm just... Okay, so what I'm doing on the screen right now is I'm finding the width. To find the width, you start with the highest point, which is 270, and you subtract the lowest point, which is 80, and you divide by the number of classes you want to have, which in this case is 7. And you'll see I get my answer as 28, because you round up. So to make your class limits, you take the lowest value and you add your width 28, which would be 108, and you just keep on going up 28 at a time, 7 times, because that's the number of classes you want to have. Alright. The class boundaries is pretty simple. You just take each class limit and you subtract 0.5 and you add 0.5, and you do that all the way through your whole class limits. The tally is just the number that fits into each class limit. So in the first group it's 8, in the second group it's 13, in the third group it's 2, in the fourth group it's 9, in the fifth group it's 10, and in the sixth and the seventh group it is 2. The frequency is just the written numerical value that goes along with the tally. And last is the cumulative frequency, which is just a frequency added up until you get the total number of test subjects that you started with, which in this case is 46.
Okay, so how you want to make a histogram is you want to start by making a y-axis and an x-axis. So on your x-axis, you're going to put your class boundaries. Your first one is 79.5 to 108.5. Your second one is 108.5 to 137.5. Your third one will be 137.5 to 166.5. Your fourth one will be 166.5 to 195.5. Your fifth one will be 195.5 to 224.5. Your sixth one will be 224.5 to 253.5. And your final class boundary will be 253.5 to 281.5. So now we go to the y-axis where we will put our frequencies. I'm going up by 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. And now you are ready to create your histogram by making the bars. Your first boundary, you will go up 8 frequencies and over. Your second boundary, you will have to go up 13 frequencies, over and down, and make sure they're touching. For your third frequency, you will go up 2, over, and down. Your fourth boundary, you will have to go up 9, over, and down. Your fifth boundary, you will go up 10, over, and down. Your sixth boundary, you will go up 2, over, and down. And your last boundary, you will go up 2, over, and down. And that is how you make a histogram.
Hello, and today we're going to be learning on how to make an ogive frequency chart. You're going to start out with your class of weight, your frequency, your cumulative frequency, which all came from your frequency distribution table. So all you have to figure out is your upper boundary. Now your upper boundary is the average between the lowest and highest class So, for example, on your chart right here, we're going to start with 108 and 109 because this one is the highest and this one's the lowest and that. So basically you're just going to average them. It's going to be 108 plus 109 divided by 2 equals 108.5. And you're going to do this for the next one, the next one, the next one, and you're going to see that there's a pattern. So it's just going to be 108.5, 137.5, 166.5, 195.5, 224.5, 253.5, and 281.5. Now that you have all of your information, it's time to put this into graph form. Now your graph, the upper boundary is always going to be the x-axis, and your cumulative frequency is always going to be the y-axis. So you're going to label this now. It's going to be 108.5, 137.5, 166.5, 195.5, 224.5, 253.5, 281.5. Okay. And on the cumulative frequency side, we're going to count by 5s. So this is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Okay, and now you're just going to plot. So 8.5 and 8, 137 and 21, 166.5 and 23, 195.5 and 32, where am I? Oh, 224.5 and 42, 253.5 and 44, and 281.5 and 46. Alright, and now you're just going to connect the dots. Oh, okay, and this over here I put there because this, I'm not listing everything before 108.5. Alright, and that is how you make an ogive, chart, frequency polygon. No, okay, just cut it.
So the first thing that you do when you're making a frequency polygon is make the y-axis and the x-axis, and you label them. So 1. And then for the x-axis, you use the midpoints of the class boundaries on the frequency distribution frequency distribution chart table. And so that would be 94, 123, 152, 181, 210, 239, and 268, and 296. And then you take the point.
It's a good 9.
You take
keep going, man.
You take the points
From the frequency distribution table.
yeah, and you plot them on the chart. Like so. Welcome back. So, we're going to finish plotting the points. 239 and 2. 268 and 2. And then you go down to 0, because it always starts at 0 and ends at 0. Because it's a frequency polygon. Then you connect the dots. Then we go there. Down, up, sideways up, down, side, down.
And end at that really good 9.
And that is how you make a frequency polygon.
Oh, that's so